Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to share my complete Amazon Data Associate selection process. From the very beginning, from how I applied to the assessments, screening, interviews, and finally the offer mail. But there's one interesting thing about my journey. I actually didn't apply for this Data Associate role initially. I applied for different Amazon role, Go AI Data Associate. So let me explain the complete journey. So initially I applied for the Go AI Data Associate role. For that role, I completed the required assessments. After completing the assessments, I was shortlisted for the screening round. But unfortunately at that time, I didn't attend the screening. So I thought that was probably the end of the opportunity. Then after 3 months, something unexpected happened. I received an email from Amazon, but the email was not about the Go AI role that I originally applied for. Instead, Amazon was offering me another data associate opportunity. It was a 6 months work from office role. They asked me whether I was interested in proceeding with this opportunity, and obviously I accepted it. After accepting the opportunity, I was shortlisted for the screening process. After accepting the opportunity, the next step was the screening round. This was basically my first actual interaction with the Amazon hiring team for this new opportunity. The screening started with basic introduction. I was asked about myself, my background, and my experience. There were also questions related to my previous experience and resume. After completing the screening, I had to wait for the next update. And after some time, I received the update for the next stage. That's when I know that I had moved forward in the process. The next important step was the interview. Now let's talk about the interview. The interview started with the usual introduction. I was asked to introduce myself and explain my background. After that, the interview asked questions based on my resume and previous experience. So one important thing I would suggest is know your resume very well. Whatever you mention in your resume, be prepared to explain it. After the resume related questions, there were behavioral questions. For these questions, I used the STAR method. If you don't know what STAR means, it's very simple. S stands for situation, T stands for task, A stands for action, and R stands for result. So instead of simply saying what you did, explain the situation, what you had to do, what action you took, and finally what happened. For Amazon interviews, I would strongly recommend preparing a few real examples from your internship, college projects, or previous experience. Prepare examples for things like handling pressure, solving a difficult problem, making a mistake, meeting a deadline, handling an ambiguous situation, and working with others. Along with the behavioral questions, I was also asked some questions related to AI, machine learning, and data annotation. For example, you should understand the basic difference between AI and machine learning. You should also know what data annotation means. In simple words, data annotation is basically adding labels or information to raw data so that it can be used for machine learning and other applications. For this type of role, you should also have basic understanding of image annotation, video annotation, classification, and data quality. You don't necessarily need to be expert in everything, but should understand the basic concepts and be able to explain them clearly. After moving through the early stages, I was called for the final interview. Again, the interview involved questions about my background, experience, and behavioral situations. There were also role based questions. At this point, I was mainly focused on answering clearly and honestly. After completing the final interview, I had to wait for the final update. And honestly, this was probably the most stressful part, just waiting. Then something happened that really confused me. When I checked Amazon Jobs portal, I saw the status said no longer under consideration. Obviously, I was confused. After going through the interviews, seeing the status was not something I expected. But I didn't immediately assume that everything was over. I followed up regarding the status and waited for the further communication. And finally, I received the email I was waiting for. Congratulations on your Amazon offer. After all the applications, assessments, waiting, screening, interviews, and confusion with the portal status, I finally received the offer letter. So, what did I learn from this entire process? First, don't underestimate opportunities that come through unexpected routes. I originally applied for another role, but eventually received an opportunity for another role. Second, always prepare your resume properly and know everything that you have mentioned it. Third, prepare star stories before your interview. And finally, don't panic immediately because of one portal status. My experience showed me that the hiring process can sometimes be confusing, so it's better to wait for communication before making assumption. If you're preparing for a similar data associate role, focus on the basics of AI, machine learning, data annotation, and data quality. Also, prepare a few star-based stories from your own experience. And if you want interview preparation resources, I'm sharing the useful resources link in the description. Make sure to check it out. All the best for your interview. So that's it for this video. I hope my Amazon Data Associate selection journey was helpful for you. If you found this video useful, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who is preparing for a similar role. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All the best.